Transforming your life with hypnotherapy just got easier with your host, Julie from CoachingHypnosis.
Welcome back, dear listener, to Coaching Hypnosis. To my wonderful community over in the United States, I've got a little something to help you reclaim your time this month. We talk so much about wellness and self-care, but you can't do that if you're stuck in a grocery aisle. That's why I've partnered with Instacart. If you're in the US and haven't tried it, you get free delivery on your first 3 orders. It's a total game changer for getting your healthy essentials delivered right to your door in as fast as 30 minutes. You can also try using the promo code FSAHSA1035 at checkout for extra savings. To get those free deliveries, just click the link in my show notes. Using that link really helps support this show. Thank you so much for the love. Cheers. Today we're talking about the emotional sponges of the corporate world, the amiable leaders. Let's be radically, almost painfully honest. Your open door policy has turned into an open wound policy. You spend 70% of your day listening to your staff talk about their breakups, their childhood pets, and their existential dread about quarterly goals. You think you're being a compassionate leader, but in reality, you're just an unpaid, unqualified therapist. Today, we're peeling back the mask on compassion fatigue. We're exploring why your deep empathy is actually an avoidant coping mechanism, a way to avoid the hard leadership by hiding in soft conversations, and why your inability to set emotional boundaries is literally draining the profit out of your bank account. The amiable leader's internal monologue is a loop of sense of injustice and global necessity. See if you recognize the "I'm drowning in feeling" script, the supportive lie. I have to listen to Kevin talk about his divorce for the 3rd time this week. If I don't, he'll think I don't care and the culture will just collapse. I'll just do my actual CEO work at midnight when I'm exhausted. The guilt loop. I feel a massive sense of injustice because I know everyone's secrets and burdens, but nobody asks how I am. I'm carrying the emotional weight of 20 people and I'm losing my mind. The safety trap. I want to be the safe space, but my safe space is currently a dumping ground for everyone's excuses as to why they didn't hit their KPIs. The raw honesty. You're using empathy to avoid autonomic reactivity. You're terrified of the coldness required to say, "I'm sorry you're going through that, Kevin, but we need that report by 5 p.m. You've created an identification stable as the nurturer, but the nurturers often get eaten alive in a competitive market. You're trading your executive authority for likes, and your burnout is the tax you're paying. It's almost funny how we sabotage our own efficiency to be kind. You hire a high-level consultant, but you spend half the meeting apologizing for the energy in the room because Sarah in marketing is having an off day. You trigger autonomic reactivity in yourself by constantly scanning everyone's faces for hint of sadness. You aren't leading, you're hostage negotiating with everyone's moods. You're stuck in past orientation. You remember that one time you were firm in 2014 and someone cried? So now you've swung the pendulum so far towards compassion that your business has no bones. You've become a victim of your own softness. You go home emotionally bankrupt with zero energy for your own family because you gave it all away to people who weren't even hitting their targets. It's a tragic comedy of overcaring that leads to underperforming. To break the compassion fatigue loop, we have to realize that clear is kind. 1. Reframing boundaries as respect. We use hypnosis to show your subconscious that by letting people dump on you, you are actually disrespecting their ability to be professional. We install the script, "I am a leader, not a crutch." 2. Identity realignment. We shift your identification stable from the counselor to the guardian of the goal. We teach your nervous system to feel safe even when someone else is uncomfortable. 3. Autonomic reset. We anchor a state of compassionate detachment. You can care about someone without taking on their weight. We rewire the brain to find pride in being a leader who provides charity rather than a leader who provides tissue boxes. Today, let's try Fatigue Buster 1. When someone starts dumping non-work emotional baggage on you today, give them 3 minutes. 2. Stop. Use the compassionate pivot. 3. Say, I can hear that's a lot to carry. I want to respect your privacy on that. So let's pivot back to the project so we can ensure you're set up for success today. 4. Notice the panic in your gut. That's your amiable identity screaming that you're being mean. 5. Take a breath and say, clarity is my job. 6. Observe how the other person actually gets back to work faster. Anchor that productivity. You can't pour from an empty cup. You cannot lead a company from a therapist chair. It's time to stop the compassion bleeding and start the strategic leading. If you're tired of being everyone's emotional dumping ground and you're ready to reclaim your energy and your authority, book your free 40-minute clarity call. Let's dismantle the counselor script and install the subconscious boundaries you need to be a powerful, healthy, and effective leader. Remember, aligned subconscious plus clear boundaries equals sustainable leadership. Thanks for listening. Align your mind. Set the boundary. Grow your business. Mindfully yours, Julie.